and its associated components. The starting system, maybe just a quick rundown of the major components of the starting system going on. We have number one, the motor itself. Number two, there is the battery. Number three, there is the solenoid. Number four, there is the start switch. Number five, there is the wiring harness. And number six, there is the inhibitor switch. So these are the major components of the starting system. The motor is a DC motor, which when supplied with current, DC that is, for the meter, it converts the electrical energy to magnetic fields, forcing the armature to rotate. The battery is an electrochemical accumulator which stores charge from the alternator and discharges it to the starting system in order to operate the starter motor. The solenoid is a heavy-duty relay which connects the heavy current from the battery directly to the motor. And it also operates the mechanical engagement mechanism, that is the movement of the pinion into the flywheel. It is actuated by the solenoid itself. The start switch, the driver operates the system using the start switch. It is part of a multi-stage switch, and the last stage of the ignition switch is the start switch. It is spring-loaded. When the engine starts, the driver will release the start switch and it will roll back to the on position. Then the engine will continue running with the starting system switched off. The wiring harness, these are the wires that network and connect these devices into a functional system. Without them, then the system will not work. The inhibitor switch is a switch which is built into the transmission system for the automatic transmission vehicles, which prevents starting of the motor vehicle while we are in the selected in drive. It can only start when we are in park. Otherwise, if you try to start the engine when selected in drive, there will be inhibitors which will prevent that. So these are the major components of the starting system. And on this unit that I have with me here, we have the solenoid. This little cylinder on top is the solenoid. It's more like the one that we have represented there using standard symbols. And the function of the solenoid, the physical solenoid as we know it, the function of the solenoid, like we said, is to push the drive assembly or the pinion in to measure the flywheel to engage the drive of the motor to the engine, so as to crank the engine and start it. Then at the other end of the solenoid, we've got a pair of heavy-duty contacts, which when closed will then connect the battery directly to the motor. So the heavy-duty current to the tune of 150 amps is connected by the heavy-duty contacts that are at the back of the solenoid. For that to happen, the driver will have to supply the solenoid windings with power, and a magnetic field is created to actuate the shift lever and to push the pinion into measure the flywheel, and to close the contacts at the back of the solenoid, which then supply up to about 150 amps to the starter motor, so that it can produce a sufficient torque to roll over the engine, so that it can run. It can start running on its own power. Then the larger cylinder here at the bottom, is the starter motor itself. That's the starter motor. The starter motor is just a simple DC motor we normally call it a series motor. It's a series motor. It's a series motor in the sense that its field coils are connected in series with the armature. Current flows from the battery through the contacts in the solenoid when closed, through the field coil, then into the armature and down to earth. And this current flow will create a magnetic field around the field coils, which will also, the same current will also create a magnetic field in the armature, and the two magnetic fields created by the same current flow will then interact to force the armature to rotate. So this is more like a series motor. A series motor is suitable for cranking the engine because generally it has this very important characteristic of having a high torque at low speeds. It has got a very high leverage of turning effort when it's turning slowly. That is, if it faces resistance, cranking resistance, the higher the cranking resistance, the greater the leverage of turning effect produced by this motor until it breaks through and rolls over the engine, then it runs on its own power. So that's a very important characteristic that it possesses. It normally develops a high torque when the speed is slow in order to overcome the resistance of the engine to crank. So basically, that's the starting system. Maybe just a quick rundown of these major components. We say the major components of the starting system are the battery, which is the source of power, the start switch, which is used to control. It's used to control the system by the driver. Then the solenoid. The solenoid, its function is to connect the battery directly to the motor. That's why we call it a heavy-duty relay. Then we have a shift lever here, which is operated in order to actuate the drive assembly so that it can move into the flywheel. So the engagement mechanism is also operated by the solenoid. Then current will flow through the field coils and the armature inside the starting motor in order to create the torque required to go over the engine in order to start it. I think it's clear. Should I imagine?
Se hai dopo il machine, you can stop